I'll just take out the rest and I'm done here.
This'll make short work of you!
When it comes to creating a build for Robin and Gotham Knights, it really is a no-brainer that you will go for the elemental side of things. His elemental tree is exceptionally strong, and elements are actually really strong in game as well. Stealth is just far too situational. So in this video, what I'm going to do, because you know you're going to use elements, I'm going to really focus on the different elements available. I'll break them down, I'll talk about their pros and cons, and then that way you'll know why we're choosing the particular elements we are using in this video. You'll notice I said elements as well there because I'm actually going to show off two setups that I'm running with different elements. I can't really decide out of the two of them which one I prefer, but both of them are really pretty amazing. I'll show gameplay of both of the elements that I'm using as well. Now let's dive in, let's start breaking all this down. In previous videos then we've actually broke down the skill tree as well, but I'm not going to do that because I've recently found out you can actually max out the skill tree. The only thing I'll say about it is of course make a beeline for your elemental skills within it. In regards to the momentum abilities, a few interesting ones I'll point out. This one here, Evade Decoy, I don't use it a lot myself, but with this one, if you've got a melee elemental effect, it will apply to this. So if you have like Incendiary on your melee, it's a nice easy way to actually apply that. You've then got Fireworks. This I use a lot. It's 2 momentum that it costs, but it's incredible the damage it does and also the crowd control that it offers over a wide area. And then finishing up here, I'll just point out with your microbots, they will apply your fire damage regardless of the elemental effect that's on your melee or your ranged. But that's some of the more interesting momentum abilities. Let's talk about the elemental effects now. For the elemental effects then there are 5 in total. You've got Cryogenic, Incendiary, Toxic, Bioelectric and Concussive. So they are a mix of either damage or crowd control. Some of them are hybrid and they'll do an element of crowd control and damage. Also with these, some of them are easier to apply, but generally the easier to apply ones are the weaker ones. So to run through them here, you've got Cryogenic. This will freeze the enemy. This is one of my personal favourites. This one, when the enemy is frozen, when you hit them, unfortunately it breaks the crowd control effect on them, but you do additional damage. This is a really nice one. Incendiary is pretty good as well. This is a hybrid one in that it does damage and it has an element of crowd control because the enemy will try and put out the fire, so definitely a good status effect. Maybe not in the top 2, but definitely a good one. Toxic is possibly, along with Bioelectric, I would say these are the 2 worst ones. Toxic, it does dot damage, it doesn't do any crowd control at all, and dot damage it does, I'm pretty sure, is less than Incendiary, so I wouldn't recommend this. Bioelectric, you see a lot of people using this in videos because it looks really flashy, very easy to apply. You apply it in 1 or 2 hits, but it doesn't really offer much. It doesn't do any damage. All it does is it stops enemies from actually using active abilities, but they can still do their regular attacks, so I don't recommend this unless you're just trying to make a flashy YouTube video. But from a build perspective, don't recommend it at all. Finishing up, we have the one that's probably my favourite, Concussive. This is very similar to Cryogenic in that it's a crowd control. The difference with this, when you actually apply it, the enemy won't be broken out the crowd control when you deal damage to them, and I'm pretty sure with Robin's kit and the extra time the enemies are under crowd control effects for, it feels like it's around about 10 or 20 seconds they're stunned for, which is absolutely huge. So this one's really nice. But that's the elemental effects. Let me start breaking down the gear I'm using. For gear then, I'll show off the suit that I'm using first. So this one, I'm using it mainly for the conditional stats it's available on. It's got 3 mod slots, ideally you are looking for 4. The mods that you want to use in this is Fox mods, Armour Reinforcer, 800 defense and 71 health, which is pretty amazing. You get 2 of these per playthrough from your Bruce Wayne caches that are in the stages. In regards to the conditional stats, the really nice one on this one is your TKO heal. So knocking out an enemy regenerates health over time with this and never need to use a med kit, so survivability wise this is really amazing. For the melee weapon then, I don't actually go for an elemental status effect at all. I prefer to use melee for flat damage, and my actual elemental status comes from the range. They get more than enough from that. So what personally I would say you want to look out for is a melee weapon with crit chance and crit damage. You can seem to get a really high amount on Robin. The mods that you want to use are your Fox mods, critical enhancement. Once again, you get 2 per playthrough from your Bruce Wayne caches. Conditional stats I have in this one aren't any good at all, so you are of course going to look for better ones. I'll quickly show you the crit rate I've got here. You can see at the right hand side my crit rate on Robin for melee attacks is 84%. If I get a 4 slot, then I'll get it up to 92, and it's 249% crit damage. So damage wise, this is amazing. So this is where we get a crowd control on Robin here. So our melee, of course, is for damage, and our ranged is all about the crowd control. So it's 2 options you'll go for, the 2 strongest crowd control ones. It's concussive or cryogenics. It's up to you which one you use. Looking at this here, this is pretty amazing. I've got 4 mod slots on it. The mods you want in here are your legendary increased elemental effect mods. In regards to the conditional stats, the top one's really nice for this build. It's knockout effect, so look out for this. Knocking out an enemy with this gear's ability doubles the elemental effect of the next attack. The actual cryogenic one I don't have a good gear piece here. My game is bugged and the watch missions no longer drop legendaries for me, unfortunately, so I can't improve on this, but your cryogenic can be really nice as well, and it's down to personal preference which one you go for, concussive or cryogenic. But that's a setup, that's your elemental damage, and your main base damage is coming from your crit chance melee weapon. So that's the build that I'm running there. I'm going to show off some gameplay now of both concussive and cryogenic elemental effects to hopefully help you decide which one you actually want to go for yourself. So as always, I hope the video's been helpful. Thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.
Units near 3rd and Commerce. We have reports of gang activity.
It's Robin!
Try this out. Thought of them like this.
Say hello! He's still here!
You'll have to try harder than that. All right, bring it. All right.
Near the warehouse. Robbery in progress.
Almost!
That was easy.
Let us get away!
That's gonna hurt for a while.
This ain't the time!
Anyone else? No?